This is Tim. Hope you all doing well today. Today's Saturday. We have a really serious situation going over here in Texas. Flash flood emergencies. Up to 16 inches of rain have already fallen and continue to fall in these areas. And of course, we have Tropical Depression 3, which is forecast to become a tropical storm sometime today. Forecast to make landfall along the South Carolina coast. Biggest threats being heavy rainfall, wind. They have minimal threat, maybe some storm surge. Rip currents are also a very big problem here. Tropical storm warnings on the coast, the small craft advisories, uh, lake wind warnings, with some flood watches up here in northern Minnesota. Different heat-related advisories up here in these different areas. Heat, heat advisory and extreme heat watch. Um, Please pray for our folks here in Texas. They've been really hit hard with this rain. I just can't imagine. Let's just see what total rainfall, storm total precip 15, 18, 19, 20 inches. Radar estimated. Wow. 1 hour, 3 inches of rain. That's definitely going to cause flooding, and I feel bad for these folks here. If you're listening from this area, I'll be thinking about you. Hopefully, you're safe and away from harm there. As far as the tropical system goes, let's take a look at the water vapor loop. And what you see here is up a little trough moving to the southwest, which is kind of what's moving this ever so slowly to the northeast. What's going to happen is a weak high pressure system is going to build over this system, and the shear in the southwest is going to relax some, which will give this system a chance to organize at least a little bit into a tropical storm before it makes landfall. This is really just a depiction of the moisture in the upper levels. Deep thunderstorms here, continue to fire on the eastern side of the system. Mid-level water vapor. There's a little bit of dry air to the west here, but overall, the mid-level water vapor still looks pretty good. We'll just have to see if any dry air gets entrained into it as time goes on. Impact with National Hurricane Center. Latest information about TD3. The biggest threat, I'd say, is rip currents. Stay out of the water today and tomorrow in these areas. Please. Very dangerous. Okay. Winds, speed, probabilities. It's still at 2 a.m. I don't. Anyway, this is the flood risk map for total rainfall estimated possibility here, up to 6 inches in this area. Flash flooding potential. They've indicated a slight risk in that same area of excessive rainfall over the next 3 days. You can see on the right pane here, the area shifts to the northeast over time. Um, as I showed you, the warning cone forecast to become a tropical storm and come ashore somewhere in middle South Carolina, with most of the impacts being on the right side, with the precip um, being a right loaded system. Offshore flow on the southwest side will keep um, any low impact storm surge events from occurring, but on the right side, there could be some storm surge 2 to 4 feet, possibly. Depending on if it's at high tide or not, I might get some really minor low land flooding, stuff like that, depending on the continental shelf in the area. As far as intensity goes, tropical depression, which is forecast to become a storm, you can see um, within the next 12 to 24 hours, these are all the model intensity guidance members showing each one on the graph here. So not forecast to get more than a 40-knot tropical storm, but it's more like 45 miles an hour, maybe. Again, the winds aren't going to be the biggest thing. I think the rain, the rip currents are probably going to be our biggest problem. Um, when we're looking at, this is a hurricane model. Go forward in time. This kind of depicts where we're at today. Maybe closer to 60. So we got the low pressure system with some dry air to the west, like I showed, moving on shore, maybe getting some of that dry air entrained on the south side. Like I said, most of the moisture is going to be on the right side of the system. So I talked about the wind shear a minute ago. See it right here where it makes landfall. It's under a really pretty favorable wind shear profile. But right now, you can see wind shear pretty strong to it, right over top of it to the north. Over time, that system kind of expands outward, and the shear lessens. So I think it'll become more vertically aligned and strengthen some before it makes landfall, but not a lot. So, um, like I said, not an emergency by any means, but keep an eye on what's going on in this area if you're out here vacationing today. This is the preset portal I always show every day. It's not really capturing stuff going on in Texas right now. I'm not sure why, but hopefully that'll abate in the next day or two. See the highest precip where we talked about. It's showing North Carolina and South Carolina through the coming days. Georgia, except along the coast, is going to be dry until maybe later in the period. Even then, precip chances are quite low, or zero really. Temperatures across the nation today. Ooh, nice and cool right now up here in the Northeast. 50s and 60s. Gonna be a nice day today up here with dew points in the 40s and 50s. It'll be quite dry, I imagine, but it'll feel good. Even here in central Georgia, a east flow of the system, it'll be pushing dew points down, which makes the real field temperature more bearable. Of course, out west here, it's dry as a bone, but 19 dew point. But in Texas, look how much moisture is there. Heat index, that's how it feels to you and me when we're outside. 80s, 90s. I mean, it's not unbearable by any stretch, but I mean, what we're used to down here. Up here in the Northeast, it's going to feel pretty good, I think, today. Anyway, tropical storm or tropical depression 3 is forecast to make landfall as a storm along the South Carolina coast sometime tomorrow morning. Temperatures across the nation are going to be hot, but not overly so from a broad scale. Flash flooding continues in central Texas, and we can only hope that that'll um, move or dissipate or something shortly, because that's terrible. At least stop training over the same area over and over again. Pray for those folks, and enjoy your Saturday. Just again, be mindful of your environment and surroundings if you're on the coast here and in Central Texas. Have a good day.